by all means.
Because we're about to tell you about my special little project.
Yeah.
And we're also going to start the mini count on how many times Sandy rolls her eyes. Actually, we're not even going to start.
We're not.
So
Yeah.
We'll do that next the next episode.
Yeah. We're not gonna roll our eyes.
Yeah. Now, in our next episode.
Shiva.
Yeah. I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby. Welcome.
Hi.
Forgot what I was going to say, but hey, welcome.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about Sorority Bettas, which is Shiva's new hobby.
Project.
Like we didn't have enough hobby to do.
This is
we
my
have a
special
new
little
hobby.
project.
Yeah, new hobby, new thing.
Yep.
So we like betas,
Yeah.
and so Shiva did somewhere she saw something because she. Go ahead.
Basically, what happened is we found out that we've got a little extra room in our home library, and we
So let's fill it with fish.
Yeah, like most crazy fish people. I looked at this small space that we had, and I said, hey, we were already planning on moving Garrett's ram tank out there, which is, 40-gallon tank out there. And I had these matching end tables, and I thought, I have this tall 15-gallon tank that we used to use for a grow-out tank for small catchers that we really don't have anything in right now, and that would look so cool on one of them, but I have to have balance in my life, so I need another tank on the other side. And what do I want in
More
there?
fish.
And I thought, it's been a while since I've had betas, and I've been seeing a lot of videos on betas lately, and I thought, okay.
Which we both like betas, so I can't complain about that part. Betas are cool.
Right, so I thought, okay, it would be neat to have beta tanks on one side or the other. And of course, I'm a theme type person. I mean, like all my rope fish are named after sea monsters or sea snakes, and all my koi have Japanese names. And I thought, I really want to go with a theme if I'm going to have two beta tanks, because I figured I was going to have a male and female beta tank set up. Originally I was going to go with Heaven and Hell, but then I remembered that it's not a good idea to use reds and oranges for any type of beta, whether it's a male or a female. So I started digging into my mythology again, because that's what I do.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, and I decided to go with Valhalla and Helheim.
Yeah. Yeah, say that twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Helheim.
She themed them. She themed her tanks.
Did.
She did.
I did. Helheim is
There's nothing better we have to do than
Helheim is the Viking version of Hell. And so that was going to be my male tank, and it is done up in purples and grays. And then Valhalla is like the Viking heaven, or as much of a Viking heaven as guys that like to kill each other all the time had.
Yeah.
And
so
I was going with
tank.
blues and golds for that one. And then I thought to myself, Valhalla needs Valkyries.
Can't have
female warriors.
Can't have another male in the tank, so let's go with female.
And let's make it special, very special, since it's a 15-gallon tank. Let's make it a sorority.
Okay.
Now,
and that's something you had researched, that you'd seen on a couple of sites, and you thought you'd try.
Yes,
so this is not
an easy task.
An easy task per se. So far, she's been very lucky, but she'll tell you how she did that. Mm-hmm. Normally, you can't necessarily get a bunch of female betas and throw them in the tank together. They will fight and kill each other.
Right.
They're not as bad as the males, but they're close.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind that while I'm making this sound easy, it actually took some planning, and I actually went a cheetah route with it.
Yes.
I did go a cheetah route with it because this is my first sorority, and I wanted it to have the best chance of success as possible.
And if you want to know more,
yes, if you want to know
more,
subscribe,
and share our page.
Yes.
No, we're just kidding.
No, she's not kidding.
That part I'm not kidding, but we'll tell you more anyway. But go ahead.
Yes. Anyway, so beta sororities have become popular lately. I've been seeing more and more videos on them. I've been seeing more and more of them on blogs. The problem is a lot of people make them sound easy. I did a lot of research and I did put a bit of thought into my tank before committing to a sorority. It would have just been as easy for me to do a male and a female on either side, and they would have been perfectly happy.
Right.
The female would have been happier because she would have had 5 extra gallons, but yeah, they would have been perfectly fine. But because I wanted to attempt a sorority, I wanted to make sure that I had the best chance of success possible.
Right.
So I basically started with deciding, first of all deciding to use the larger of the tanks for the females.
Right.
The 15-gallon. The second thing I knew I had to do was fill it with lots of plants. I got these beautiful, tall, aquatic plants. I wanted to use, blues and golds, light colors, no flashy colors that was going to upset the females. Everything's very nice and tranquil in there. Nice little hidey holes everywhere. I have my driftwood in both tanks that I'm kind of trying to mimic Brazil, which is the world tree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to mimic that. Roots down in Helheim, branches up in Bahala.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
She's going to give me all kinds of shit about my theme tanks, but
they're cute though. They are cute. They are cute. She did put thought. Yes, she did. I know.
And
they're very cute.
And they are multi reasons for that. And one of them is because I'm keeping bristlenose plecas in both of the tanks. Bristlenose plecas are small plecas. They get to be about maybe 6 inches tops. I keep the wood in there for them. The second thing I had to keep in mind was making sure that they did have hidey holes. One thing about girls is that they are going to need their own little spaces in the tanks. So between lots of trees and whatnot, I'm using a sponge filter in both tanks rather than putting a overhead, big, loud, noisy over the tank filter. I'm using sponge filters. Are much quieter. They have a gentle circulation rather than anything that's going to be whipping everything around. They have gentle bubbles rather than, crazy launching fish out of the water bubbles, because betas don't like you don't want a lot of things that are going to agitate the betas.
Except for the one beta who was actually playing in the bubbles, and I have it on video.
But it's still
she
gentle.
played in the bubbles.
But it's gentle. It's not like a super
just
crazy
to be different.
geyser.
Yeah, no, she was just, I thought it was adorable. I was like, I've never seen a beta play in bubbles before, but she was. Yeah.
So you want to have everything very, very tranquil and calm, and then you also want to have lots of things for your girls to look at, so lots of plants, lots of toys.
And to distract them from each other,
yes,
for the most part.
And you also want to have tank mates. In Bahala, I have
baby
I have
reservoirs.
some of them are babies, but Harlequin reservoirs and red tetras and the bristlenose plecas. I have a couple of bristlenose right next to that young bristlenose in there.
Yeah.
Eventually, a couple of them will move out. But the idea between the roommates is it also gives the fish something to watch, something that's not threatening, something that's not going to attack them or hurt them in any way, but it's going to be curious. The girls are very curious. The boys are too. Betas get very curious. They like looking at things. They like that stimulation. You want them to be focused, so distracted. You don't want 2 females starting to get into it, and all of a sudden the little school of squirrels goes by and says, "No, squirrel."
Right. Yeah. They.
You want things that are going to keep the girls occupied and not on getting bitchy with each other, because like any sorority with a bunch of girls,
they
can get
together
bitchy together.
Girls are cliquey, and girls are not nice to each other.
Right.
So you have to kind of be careful. And then, you did a special thing too. You actually bought them from a specialized breeder that specializes in sorority. So they raise them from fry together.
Yes. Now this is how I cheated, but not really.
Okay.
When people are starting sorority tanks, they usually think that their only option is to go to pet stores and hope that they can find a bunch of females, throw them in together, and see how it works.
And pray, yeah.
Yeah, that generally is not going to work out as great.
Right.
First of all,
get lucky, but
first of all, you need young fish. The younger the fish, the better, because the younger fish haven't developed that whole hostility part yet.
Right.
So, but I noticed this when I was picking up my male, who I did get from a pet store. There aren't that many pet stores that keep juvenile females.
Yeah, most of the females are adults.
Yeah, most of the females are adults because juvenile females look boring to a lot of people.
Yeah, they're not as flashy as the men.
And you don't know what color they're going to be. And when you're putting together a sorority, you do want the females to all have different color patterns so you can tell them apart. Because if you do end up one who's being a bitch, you can get her out of there and separate her.
Stay tuned for that episode. I'm sure that's going to happen.
I'm sure that'll happen at some point.
As they age, you're going to get at least one that's got an attitude.
Yeah. So you always want, if you're going to start a sorority tank, make sure you have at least one tank, preferably more, that you are ready to separate a scrapper in. You may end up with, if you start a sorority, you may end up with several individual tanks as well as whatever's left of your coat.
But so far you've been lucky with yours, but they're young. They're very young, but yeah, she found a place online.
Yes, so basically what I did was instead of going, pulling my hair out trying to find, because I wanted at least 5. I wanted at least 5 girls because I wanted an odd number and I wanted a large enough pack where I wasn't going to have like 2 picking on 1. So minimum of 5 for me. I've heard 4, I'm going to say 5. The more the better, but you don't want too many in a small tank. So if I had if I was going to do this in a 55 gallon, I would have probably put in like 15 fish or so. But because I was doing this in a 15 gallon, 5 fish
is good. Yeah, 5 is good.
Instead of chasing around trying to find 5 juvenile female bettas that were different colors and going all over creation, then I also wanted them all going in at the same time. So that would have been a logistics nightmare. I would have been sending Sandy off in one direction, Gareth off in another direction, me off in another direction, with our phones, radio, what the heck we found at pet stores, so we could get them all into the tank at the same time. That wasn't going to happen.
Well, it would have.
Well, it would have, but
we would have done it.
We would have done it. It just would have been a real pain in the butt. So can you see us all with cooler seats?
Yes. Yes, I can. I can see us.
Yes.
Because this is our relaxing hobby.
Right. So what I ended up doing instead was I found a company online that had female bettas that were raised together as they were young, but they were all brought up together. That increases the chances of my sorority working out by tenfold. So they had all different types of bettas. They selected bettas that looked different, so you can, separate
tell them apart.
Tell them apart. So it took a couple days for us to decide which kind we wanted to go with because they were gorgeous, and I ended up not going with my first choice because originally I wanted the alien bettas, which looked gorgeous and they're metallic, but then I realized that they would just blend into my color scheme.
Right.
So we decided
we Shiva.
No, Gareth.
Okay, Gareth.
I brought Gareth in on it too. And I was just like, okay.
I was like, they're all gorgeous. Pick whatever you want.
Yeah, Sandy's
I'm
a
not
lot of help.
I was like, get them all.
Yeah, Sandy's a lot of help.
I was gonna help it all. I was like, go ahead. I like them all.
Yeah. So we ended up going with a different variety than I had planned, but they're still absolutely gorgeous. But the most important thing, if you're going to go this route and have this shipped to you, don't skip on the shipping. This particular company had 2 options. I could have done priority mail, which is 3 to 4 days for $18, or do overnight for like $48. I chose overnight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can't even imagine not doing overnight shipping for fish, for live anything.
Yeah, 2 reasons. A, even though bettas can survive in smaller pools of water for a long time without a water change, up to a week, as you mentioned earlier, there's still heat. They're in an airplane, and especially these guys coming from California. We're in Florida, they were on a plane.
Yeah.
The compartments are colder. Then they're going in Florida heat in a truck running
for
around.
Who knows how long? Yeah.
And then you also have the fact that the U.S. Postal Service isn't 100% reliable, so they could be sitting, somewhere in that facility, if not even worse, delivered to the wrong person.
Yeah. And just imagine that opening that package up.
Yeah. So. Overnight shipping, FedEx overnight shipping is the way to go.
Best way to go.
If you're going to make the investment in a bunch of female bettas that were specially bred for this sort of thing, make the additional investment, get them overnight.
Get them here quick. Actually, so far we've got some footage. It's gone so far. It's gone pretty good.
Yep.
As far as that goes.
So basically, we unpacked the sorority girls, and we basically had them all floating in the tank together, and released them. And then once we released them. You'll see the footage of us releasing them, how we did it. Once we got them in the tank, this was where the harrowing part came in. We were checking on them at least every half hour.
We're still checking on them. I still walk by and check on them and make sure they're
when
fighting.
we first put them in, that first night,
the first night
there were all of us, and we were all
taking
checking.
turns, literally checking to make sure they weren't fighting.
Yeah.
And they laughed at us. They thought we were ridiculous. They were perfectly fine together. No one's caused any issues whatsoever.
Yeah, they were like, oh look, dumb humans are checking on us.
The cat had more interest they're more interested in the cat than in us. They don't give a crap about each other.
Yeah, some of our cats absolutely love bettas. They love watching them. They don't go after them, but they just love
They
watching
sit there and
them.
watch them.
And the bettas just love the tails going
Yeah.
and they chase the tails.
So it was just funny, you had to watch. So,
Yeah.
but no, we still check them not as much as we did that first day.
Yeah, we don't check them as much as we did the first day or two.
Yeah.
But we were checking them like every half hour at least. Sometimes.
And there were all of us, not just one of us. I think everybody.
Yeah, it was like everybody.
Garrett.
Everybody was checking on them to make sure
Yeah.
because we wanted to know. We were looking for any signs of aggression.
Yeah, and
No.
I haven't seen any yet.
Nope.
At all.
No signs of aggression whatsoever. And let's see, we've had the tank for about a week now.
Yeah.
No
So
signs of
hopefully it
aggression
goes well.
whatsoever. We're doing
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So we're kind of excited. Well, she's kind of excited. I'm kind of excited. I like them. Actually, they're cute. I like watching
Once
them.
they grow up, they're going to be gorgeous.
Yeah,
Right now,
and
they
the
are-
male isn't he? He's still a juvenile as well,
Yes,
but
all
he's
of them
absolutely beautiful, and they're beautiful. And I mean, if we ever decide to breed them, we're going to have to do a lot more research. But that's really interesting too.
Yeah, we're thinking
That's a whole
about-
thing.
Yeah, we're thinking we might breed later on, but right
Yeah,
now,
right now, yeah.
these guys are just
This is
ornamental
the
for us.
test. Yeah, this is the test dummies for us to figure it out, make sure we're doing right or wrong.
Yeah, this is our first sorority. Honestly, with as gorgeous as these fish have, I can see down the road getting a much larger tank and doing a much larger sorority. But we need practice with it. We need to. This is our first. They're still very young. As they grow up, we'll be keeping you posted on
Yeah,
how
give
things
you little
go as
fish
they-
bites on episodes on what they're doing.
as how they grow up and how many we end up having to take out because they're little scrappers. And then you might find us, maybe a year from now, you're going to see, hey, look at our 5 individual tanks.
Right? That we decided sororities are no good. But we'll see. We'll
But
see.
we don't know.
Yeah.
So this is our first time, and we're not claiming to be experts at it. We're just taking every precaution we knew to take
Right.
in order to try to make a success.
And the male's just swimming along in his tank, and he don't care.
Yeah, the male can't even see the females
Yeah,
because there's
yeah.
this big fish tank.
There's another
between
fish
the two
tank in
of them.
between them, but
Yeah.
but it's just kind of funny because he's just like, yeah, I'm cool, and we're all worried about the females, and we're all staring at the females, and I mean, I look at him, but not as often as I do them.
Oh, it's okay. The cats keep him occupied.
Yeah.
They just sit there and watch him.
Yeah, the cats. And just for all those haters out there, there's a very tight lids on these tanks, and the cats do not mess with them. But
And,
still,
well, the cats are used to bettas too because I used to keep
you
them
used
in
to
my
have, you had
bedroom.
them in your bedroom.
I used to have 2 tanks in my bedroom, and the cats absolutely love the fish. But the cats have been brought up with fish.
Right.
They're not going after them. They just like looking at them. They get
Unlike
all
my
excited.
cat, my daughter in her infinite wisdom taught
Yeah.
my cat how to open the fish tank lid and scoop out the guppies. Yes,
Yeah,
I would
that's
randomly.
because your daughter-
My daughter was
your
a
daughter
monster.
is evil.
She was. She thought it was the funniest thing ever, and it was horrible. I'd come home and there'd be like a little fish body, so I had to literally put a screen over the wall, put a screen over it so that when he would reach his paw in there, he couldn't get a fish. Because I would randomly find little fish pieces. It was just horrifying. She thought it was funny as heck.
Yeah, meanwhile, I taught my cats don't go after fish. I mean, I've got one cat who will come out here, with the indoor koi pond, sit on the ledge and watch me feed the koi, and he's perfectly happy watching that until one of the koi splashes him, and then he goes running.
He's running, yeah. But yeah, no, I had to put a screen up to protect my guppies from my fish, my cat, because my daughter was the exact opposite of you. She,
Well, I don't have human kids. I've got 3 little cat kids.
furry little demons. But yeah, so stay tuned for the sorority. We look forward to updating you on that. We'll see what happens with that, and we're all it's all new to all of us, so we're going with it. I mean, we did a lot of research, but it is still new to us.
Brand new to us.
But yes, by all means, like us, subscribe to us, share us.
Yep. And
If you really like it.
if you really like our show and you want to support us and on a bigger level, which we love because we've got all kinds of big plans for the season. We do have a Patreon page. Subscriptions for our patrons start at $5 a month. They go up from there. We have all kinds of perks for our patrons, including special videos just for them, our newsletter, a couple cute things like t-shirts and mugs. Some not so cute things like we will sacrifice a watermelon in the name of anybody you want to the koi pond because or you can call us. We have all kinds of perks for our patrons, including our newsletter, special
Mugs,
videos especially for them, t-shirts, mugs, all the way up to
the cute little adopt a koi.
Yeah, her Adopt a Koi program or my watermelon sacrifice program.
Yeah, sacrifice the watermelon god to the watermelon gods of koi. Yeah, you're trying to kill things. I'm all like, you're adopt a koi.
Watermelon.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, if you could get away with killing something else, you would.
I would not. I keep my fish very happy, healthy, and alive.
Yeah, okay.
The watermelon, on the other hand, are dead.
Watermelon are dead.
But we do have all kinds of perks for our patrons, so you might want to, if you want to consider becoming a patron, we'd love that.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Like, subscribe,
like,
share.
subscribe, share. And also, if you have ever have any questions.
Oh yeah, that was our other thing. We always, I always forget to comment, make comments, ask questions.
Yes. If you ever have any questions about this or any other episode of ours, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section with your questions. We will get back to you. If we don't know the answer to something, we'll find somebody who does, or we'll do the research.
Yep.
For example, if you're wondering, I have a 10-gallon or a 15-gallon tank, and I want to start a sorority. How many fish can I have maximum? If I don't know the answer, I will give you my best guess, and I will tell you it's my best guess, and I'll tell you what the pros say. If you have any questions, anything you see on any of our videos,
or anything you even want to know, if we haven't seen it yet. I mean, we'd love to do an episode that on a question you have.
Which we've done before.
We have done. We would love to do that. So if you have a weird question you haven't seen on our episodes, that if you've gone back and watched them, by all means, we would love to do an episode on anything you have questions on regarding fish.
Within reason.
Regarding fish and care of fish.
Within reason. We're not going to test the whole. Can you keep a tiger shark in a 20-gallon tank? Let's see if Sandy and Shiva will find out. No. Within reason.
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
Come on, you know the internet.
We do have a little bit of video of sharks that we've got for the pet store.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
But
that's our tiger sharks.
Eventually, that's our next thing. Is we're going to eventually
That's
try.
not our next thing. That's way down the line. Eventually, I will.
Tomorrow, Shiva will have sharks.
I will not. That's a lot more planning.
Yeah. But have a nice day, and thank you again for joining us.
And see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.